Hi, everybody. Welcome to live sessions for April. It's been a minute. I know it's been quite a minute. Um, I have been really excited to get jumping back into shows, and I've got a couple of artists lined up for the next couple weeks. So hopefully, we'll be able to get all of them on and introduce you to some new artists. I'm really excited to have a returning couple returning artists that are coming back for some of their releases, and so that's really exciting and fun. I always like to bring people back to kind of reintroduce them to you guys. So there's a lot of songs being put out on the 25th of this last Friday, so hoping to bring some of those people on. But uh, for the time being, some of the other things that we have going on is I'm going to start doing, as of May 1st, I'm going to start posting reviews. So we'll do reviews of songs, reviews of albums. I'm not going to do reviews of like a band itself because the songs and the albums really are what they're about. So I'm going to do that. We're going to start with Xander Corbett. His album, the Red Album, is going to be the first one we're going to do, with overwhelming people telling me to do that first. So I'm going to do that. That's all in the queue. And then I do have about 4 or 5 songs that I'm ready to send out to everybody for some of those ones that came out on Friday, and then there's a few in the future that are coming out too. So I'm really excited for this new type of direction, and I'm excited to be able to bring some new content to you guys. So you'll continue to see the promotions on Instagram, but again, all these videos will be on our YouTube, so be sure to check that. And if you haven't subscribe. That way you can, and also hit the notification bell, because that way you'll be able to know when we have new artists and new videos and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited for being able to share all of it with you guys. And thanks for all the suggestions of things to add to content that you guys want to see. It's been probably a long time coming. I haven't been doing reviews of things because we're doing all the interviews, but now that those have kind of died down, I feel like it's time to start that. So if you do have any questions, or you do have any ideas of people to be able to review, or albums to review, or your own album or song to review, then please be free to DM me either on Instagram or Facebook, and or you can email me at the local music scene 1@yahoo.com. That's our email. So with that, let's bring on our guest today. He is a solo artist doing his thing, and we're going to bring him on. His name is Sam, and he's with Wispy Cauliflower.
Yes,
I
Wispy
got it.
Califlower.
I got it. All right. Well, welcome to the show, friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to my basement.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because you're like a new artist one to kind of the scene of this our show. And so we kind of have this community. So welcome to that, because now you have a million people at your feet for shows. But uh but yeah, I'm really glad you got to come on and share your music and stuff. So let's dive in. What is I want to know the name. I want to know first, I really want to know where you got the name for your band, or for you.
Yes. I originally went by my initials, which was SAM.
Okay.
And other people had that, so I kind of thought it was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
And so I was just looking for a while, and my ex-girlfriend used to cook a lot, so I was helping her like chop vegetables, and she
Hmm.
told me to cut the cauliflower wispy, and that was it, Wispy Cauliflower. So thought it was unique enough, I guess.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I mean, coming up with like band names or names for yourself, like your stage name or whatever, are so hard.
Yes.
And so I feel like when you can get something and land on something so like every day, but is really cool like that, I think that's really cool. Like that's awesome. Good job in like hearing something cool.
I just thought it was funny. I have a list of
Yeah.
names I think are like humorous and like,
Yeah.
I'll just save them for anything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's amazing. So how did you get into music?
Originally it was Back to the Future. It was the scene at the end of Back to the Future, well, towards the end where Marty McFly plays Johnny Be Good, and that was really it. I was like 9 when I saw it, and yeah, that was like the first kind of music
Yeah.
thing.
That's awesome. That is my all-time favorite movie.
Oh yeah.
I too love that scene, and I even as an adult, I still enjoy pretending
Is
like
it?
I'm playing air guitar, though I know how to play guitar, but air guitar is so much fun in that scene.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, that's so great. I don't think I've heard anybody say that yet, so that's really funny because that's my all-time favorite movie.
Also mine.
Yeah, it's cool. So then do you like that like kind of like classic rock or that kind of 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s kind of scene kind of music then?
Um, I don't know. I got into Chuck Berry for a little bit, and then I
Okay.
discovered Queen. So I,
Oh.
I started off in kind of like classic rock, but I, I don't know. A lot of the stuff I listen to now is really different. So I've never really was like a, rock music guy.
Mhm.
But I think that's sort of like the Buddy Holly. I like
Mhm.
him. Um, so sort of classic rock, but not like Led Zeppelin classic rock.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. More kind of contemporary, I guess maybe that would be a
A
little
little
bit.
more, I guess, like pop, pop influenced. You know.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Yeah. I for sure I'm totally into classic rock. So I think that movie also kind of steered me that way too.
Mhm.
And uh being able to appreciate those like guitar riffs and the way the music was kind of written back then where it was like made for your ear holes,
Mhm.
so I feel like it's very shaping in that way if you kind of come from parents that listen to that too. Did your parents listen to a lot of that kind of music too? Were you influenced that way too?
My dad has a more like varietal palette than like my mom, but it's
Oh,
still not not where mine is. Or I, he was he's into like a lot of hits and not like as deep into it as I am. But
yeah.
so he was sort of a, a thing for me. My mom's into like hair metal and whatever's popular
Yeah.
now. So
Hair
nothing
metal.
there. Yeah, I know. I
That's so rare for a girl to be into metal.
yeah, yeah. So
That's
more my
interesting.
dad.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do either of your parents play instruments or are they musical at all?
No.
Really? Are you like
Yeah.
the only one in your family?
Yeah, my Pepe plays guitar, but he's into metal stuff and um I didn't really talk to him that much growing up because they live like an hour and a half away.
Oh,
Um so yeah, I'm pretty much uh I was on my own for the most part.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was like kind of like you. Like I was I lived with my grandparents until I was 12, but after that point, I think those are the years like you're kind of influenced by music or who
Mhm.
you're shaping to be to like music. But high school really is where it like kind of solidifies. And so um I totally like was influenced with kind of like you with like music from the people that are around me. But do you have like this like music is kind of a deep dive for you or is it just kind of like something you like to do? Like, are you a music nerd, or is it like something, well, for lack of a better word? But are you kind of the type that just it's just fun to do and you enjoy it?
I would say I'm probably a bit of a music nerd. Um, yeah, but I just really, really into music. So
Yeah. Sorry, my dog just got up the stairs.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
So you're gonna hear animals because my cat opened the door. um well, I see, and that's me. Like I've been a music nerd like most of my life, so I feel like I too am like kind of the only one in my cousin is a musician, but like of everybody that's in the minute family, I am kind of like that too. So it's, do they support you in this journey of music and being able to like do your own thing when it comes to your music and how you do it?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
for the
Do
most
do
part.
so I forget, have you played live?
A few times.
Yeah. Have they been there to do it? To
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it?
they come to a lot of things. More so my dad, but my
Okay.
brothers always listen to my new records, um, and he always does too. So,
Yeah.
you know.
How do they feel about your music? Do they give you feedback?
Um, they love it. They're usually like, they have their favorites and whatever, and
Yeah.
they'll tell me which ones are the best. But they are, really into it for the most part.
Yeah. That's cool that you have a family, supportive family like that. That's really
Mhm.
great. Does it does any of the songs like have to do with family? Like, do you have anything that, like, situations or whatever that's happened and they got to like kind of hear how you went through it, or coped through it through your music?
Um, Probably more so throughout like the recent last few years, but I mean, I've had on my first album, I had my dad and my little brother on a song, um, and uh, I've written some songs about growing up a lot,
Hmm.
and so yeah, I mean, they've kind of a lot of songs about like mental health or my mental health.
Yeah.
So they were really, aware of it all. I mean, I would never hide stuff like that from them, but,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, I guess they kinda heard a lot of that come
Yeah.
through in my music.
Yeah. Is music kind of therapeutic for you, or
Um,
cathartic?
Maybe a little bit. I think it's probably more cathartic than therapeutic.
Okay.
Um, it's just like, something I get really sucked into,
Yeah.
um, and, most of the time, when I started doing music in the first place, I was really just a guitarist
Mhm.
before I got into writing and all that and recording. But I, um, I only really played so much because I didn't have anything else to do. So I was into it at first, but then I just didn't have anything else to do, so I wasn't interested in anything. So I'd come home and just play guitar all day. Even if I was just completely miserable doing it, it was still better than, sitting around.
Yeah.
Um, so that's how I kinda, uh my relationship with music has been, like, uh, sort of, uh, stressful for the most part,
Mhm.
with me making music and whatever
Yeah.
for pretty much, as long as I can remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and is your experience different now? Like, has your relationship changed now that you've kind of developed this sense of what it is and how to do it correctly, for lack of a better word, and how to really get into it and make it something that is able for you to use as a tool? Like, is there a different relationship now, or does it still kind of stressful?
Back and forth, but, it's, a little bit more, enjoyable and like a I think I understand how or why I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Um, it does take a lot of energy. Um, I just, a lot of the time, uh, I'll just come downstairs, after work or whatever, and it's the same thing I did when I was in school. Come home and do music like for like 6 to 8 hours, and it drains like the hell out of me. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's this kind of back and forth where I quickly I make a lot of songs really fast, and um, nowadays I put more effort into them. I spend more time on them. Um, but before it was like I would come home, work on a song, finish a song, start to finish, and just not eat, not
Yeah.
not really sleep.
Yeah.
Um, it's just this like addicting like uh, I just get in the zone.
Yeah.
So in some ways, but it's still when I go through like a burnout, which is pretty often,
Yeah.
very stressful and frustrating because I
Yeah.
don't really do that much else. So
Yeah. Yeah. Is it like your only kind of hobby maybe? Or the
for the
thing that you
most
do the
part,
most? Yeah.
recently I've been building my studio, so I haven't done any
Yeah.
music stuff. In I haven't recorded or written in like a month, and this is the longest break I've had in like 5 years.
Wow.
Um, Even beyond like a few days, I never stopped. But this has been sort of
Yeah.
a nice break, but
Yeah.
usually I just can't stop. Like like I can't
Yeah.
back off from it. There's just nothing else I know how to do. So
So what's your writing like process then? So like you come home, how do you come to a theme of what you want the song to be?
um, usually I just kind of let it come to me, or I'm playing around and I find something. A lot of the time, more recently, I wake up with songs in my head.
Oh,
Um, and um,
is it just lyrics or is it like the whole song itself?
Usually like melodies, but they're really muffled, and I can hear lyrics sometimes, and um, sometimes I can build it in my head.
Yeah.
But it's hard to work with because it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
Um, so and most of the time, a lot of those melodies don't really go anywhere. They kind of just sit on my phone if I get them down.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like my usually, I'm messing around. I come up with something comes to me, and I just kind of build it from there. Um, Usually, for a long time, I would record the instrumental before I did lyrics, and
Hmm.
then I would do. And then when I got onto Logic Pro, I would use loops and
Hmm.
kind of work on it from there. Nowadays, I try to finish writing the song before I record it at all. Um, and um, lyrics, I try I try to figure out what it's about, but sometimes it's just like I don't know, so I just go with it. Um, and I like to use lines that I think are um, uh, just different or interesting. So I kind of start based off of that. If
Hmm.
it's a line that inspires another line, then it works. So
Yeah.
that's kind of mostly my process. See, I'm
Yeah.
more into the recording side. So usually, what happens is I'm like itching to record and produce a song.
Yeah.
So I sometimes rush the writing process, but
Um,
that's where the burnout comes in because like it sucks recording a song that isn't really worth recording. So
yeah.
then I sit there
Well,
at
then
the
why not
computer.
stop? If it's
I
not worth
can't.
it, it's some
I
really?
can't. Yeah, I can't. I get anxious if I'm doing nothing and there's not really much else to do, for me. I used to play video games, but it's I
Uh,
think it's an ADHD or OCD thing. Like I'm just like I
Yeah.
need to do this.
Yeah. That's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yes.
What are you in a small town or something?
Yeah, fairly. I'm in Palmer in Massachusetts,
Okay.
so it's like 30 minutes from Springfield and like an hour from Boston.
Okay.
So it's not like the middle of nowhere, but there's not really much going on. Um,
How many people are in your town?
I want to say like 3,000 or something. Let me look.
Oh, okay.
Palmer, Massachusetts census. Oh, actually, like 12,000. I didn't even
Oh,
see.
wow.
Um, but
That's,
it,
I mean, I guess a court in relation to big cities, I guess that is kind of a smaller city or
yeah.
smaller town, but
Well, we have villages. So I live in Thorndike, uh, which is a village of Palmer.
okay.
Um, and I like honestly, um I don't know everything. Like I drive around and I'm like, oh, I've never seen this before. And it's
Yeah.
like just in Main Street. Like
Yeah, yeah,
there was a restaurant, I guess, Steaming Tender. It's like a historic landmark here, and
yeah.
it's been here since before I was here, and I never knew it was there. I look around this corner and there's this restaurant with trains everywhere. It's like a train themed, and
That's cool.
never saw it in my life, and I've lived here my entire life. So,
Yeah,
um, it's, just I don't know, I'm not too familiar with it,
yeah.
ironically.
Do you travel at all?
Um, not that much, I like to
Okay.
more now.
Yeah.
I've been to, like, Florida, and I went to Ireland when I was, like, 14, and, um,
Wow.
I went to Memphis not that long ago. Um, but, more so now, I kinda wanna do more traveling on my own, but
Yeah.
I'm working on stuff, so you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you kind of, I think that's kind of the detriment of musicians that I see is that like we all are so creative and we focus so much, kind of like what you're saying is like it's like a blinders, like a
Mhm.
horse blinder, and so you get so focused and the outside world just kind of becomes
Yeah,
blurry,
very
right?
enclosed.
Yeah, and you're kind of like, okay, I'm a musician and this is what I do every day, and and so but I think I would encourage you to try and like maybe get out or take a walk or something, like be able to kind of broaden your perspective, and it
Mhm.
might actually help you be less stressed with music and
Oh, yeah.
like have a different relationship to it,
Yeah.
where it's not uh but if it's already in your head, then maybe that doesn't work because you already have the melodies and things and songs and whatever like in your head. But I think that would be something that would be helpful, just because you sound like you're very creative and very like in tune with how you want the song or something to be. So I feel like if you were able to like kind of broaden that, then it would be, I mean, things
Mhm.
are endless, my friend.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
so like trips to, I mean, you could write about Ireland, or you could write about, I mean, who hasn't wrote about Memphis at this point?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, I feel like those are good things because people can connect with that, because they've
Yeah.
been there, or whatever. Um uh but yeah, I mean, but I also understand the
Yeah.
very like tunnel vision of it all too, because I get that way too, and just like this tunnel vision of okay, I gotta focus on this song and get it done, and that way I can move on to whatever's next, and so I'm kind of that way too. Like if I get in a song, I just want to get it done,
Mhm.
and I've had some where, I mean, it took us. Oh, but okay, I'll ask you first. What is like the longest period that it took you to write a song? And it doesn't have to be like in consecutive order, just like in consecutive hours. Like how did it take a couple of days or a month or whatever? Like,
Um, I had one I started, in, like, July, and then I finished, like, a year later in August.
yeah,
But I don't really do that as much anymore. Some ideas I save, and then they come back later.
yeah,
Um, a lot of the stuff on the new record is, uh, songs I was working on when I was working on my 5th album,
uh
but I trashed, and then I came back to them and fixed them up and finished them.
yeah,
So those are kinda, I mean, probably around a year to a year and a half old now. But
yeah.
those are all written for the most part. I just kinda worked on
Yeah.
the recording.
Yeah. Is it hard to go back to those albums and kind of hear where you were at that point? Some people kind of like to like focus on the now of where you've learned and gained knowledge and your writing has gotten better and musicality has gotten better. So do you kind of continue to allow people to hear that kind, from the beginning, or is
Mhm.
it something that you were like, okay, that's the beginning, I want to start new now that I'm, more educated with it
Um,
all?
I don't think about my first 4 albums that much, and when I would release them each time, I would think, like, "This is my masterpiece," and,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't, I try not to because I just hate them, but, I leave them up, I think, um, it's like a little lore thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and, it's cool to see how it shifted and, um, progressed, so,
Yeah.
you know.
What's the biggest change that you've seen from this album you're putting out now, or put out now, um to those other four? Like what's the biggest change you've seen as a musician, or as, being able to gain more knowledge in how to make music, or whatever the case is? What's the biggest change you've seen?
I think it's more of a mature, like, process.
Mhm.
I especially recently, but I've always really loved, like, 60s,
Mhm.
um, and, like, Motown and,
Yeah.
recently it's been stuff like, there's a single by the Walker Brothers I really like called The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore." All sorts of The Temptation stuff. Um, a lot of just, like, Motown, stuff, and there's this one album by The Happenings called, Cycle with a P, and that like, this stuff, I've been listening to just kinda taught me, like, um, uh how much time people would put into individual songs. Like, everyone back in those days, you had people for arranging, people for, session musicians, the singers, and everyone
Mhm.
had their own job. It was like a whole team, and, you know, I think it's kinda taught me, like, you know, it can take, more time than
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be so quick, you know?
Yeah.
So I enjoy, like, spending more time on a song, like, individually, like, because I've always been an album guy, but, I've been loving, like, individual songs and the effort that goes into them, but
Yeah.
in the form of an album.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of the new thing for me.
Yeah. How did you pick the songs for this album and the
Um,
theme? Did you have a theme?
sort of. I always try to have a loose theme for my albums,
I don't
and,
think we told anybody. What's the name of your new album?
Annual Chili Challenge.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes.
So that lends to think of,
Yes, funny.
funny,
Yeah.
so yeah. So what, and I kind of feel like your theme between the name and your other albums and this one, like they all just kind of have this like kind of undertone of being funny and like unironic.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what is this one specifically? Why did you name it that? And then the songs, how did you choose the songs to go with that theme?
Um, I always, well, when I started recording music, I would record like humorous songs because
Yeah.
I was too embarrassed to be like recording serious stuff, and I just felt like kind of cringy.
Yeah.
So I would make stuff I thought was funny, and it's still sort of the same way. I mean, I do more serious music, but um, I feel like weird trying to think of a serious name and, um, whatever. But I do have names that kind of have more meaning to me and whatever. Like this
Hmm.
one, Annual Chili Challenge. I think before I was gonna name the album like 0% Pulp, um, no filler, um,
Yeah.
and pulp is nasty anyways.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I I found a bunch of I had to clean. Well, we cleaned my basement recently, um, and we found these tapes, and I didn't even know we had home tapes. until we saw them, and they were family tapes from uh, the early 2000s when my parents got together. Um, and they're divorced now, but it was like um, their wedding and like their um, honeymoon, some stuff with my baby brother and my or no, my baby brother, my older brother and my
Mhm.
older sister. And my dad's going through we sat down. It took me like months to figure out how to use a VCR, and my dad, because they were VHS-C tapes, so they're those tiny ones.
Yeah.
So I bought an adapter, and I was like, "How the hell does this thing work?" I call my Pepe, like 2 months later, and he's like, "Oh, did you put a battery in it?" Like, "You have to put a battery in this thing?" Like, it's a box. Like, so it took me a while. We even, like
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
it took me a bit, but, um
that's so funny because that, I mean, I graduated high school in 2000, and
oh, yeah, so
like that we grew up with that, and so it still fascinates me when younger kids are like, I don't even know how to VHS works. Like, I'm like, oh my god, am I that old? It just makes me laugh. So I'm not laughing at you. It's
no, no,
just
I know.
so it's just like, oh my gosh,
No,
I've
I get
reached the
that.
point of where it's at that point. But anyway, so he showed you how to use it and you saw them, I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
My parents' honeymoon, um, they like it's like when they get in the hotel and my dad's reading the book of, things to do in the area, and,
Yeah.
this whole time I'm thinking like, "Wow, no one has their phones out." It's like 2002, phones don't exist.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh,
I
so
mean, we did, but they didn't have Google or anything
yeah,
on them.
like,
It was,
you're not staring at your
yeah.
phone like this
It's
all the
the
time.
flip of phone of the like snake.
Yes.
We had just got cameras in 2002.
Um, so my dad says, so we're gathered around watching this tape, my whole family, and my dad says, "Look at they have an annual chili challenge," and
Wow.
we just all laughed. So it was like a little fun, nice family moment.
Yeah, yeah,
So on the first song on the record, it starts with that. I think they have an annual chili challenge. He says, I put the clip in there, and the
yeah,
whole album. Well, I think there's 2 or 3 different songs with like tape stuff from those tapes, little
yeah,
clips. Um, and that's kind of where the name came from and some of the theme. Um, so the songs, um, I think a little under half of them are older from when I was writing and recording DIY Orphans, which is my 5th
yeah,
album.
yeah,
Um, I originally the album came about because I was never into live music. I was always a recording guy, mostly because didn't have a lot of friends that played instruments. I never thought I was going to be able to get into it. There's no scene around here,
yeah,
um, and I don't know. I was sort of so against like that whole scene of live music because a lot of people I knew were just like I would talk to people that played live and they just wouldn't understand me, like
yeah,
the whole I felt like they didn't,
yeah,
I felt
yeah,
like no one understands me. Um,
yeah,
they would just kinda look at me like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like when I'm talking about recording or something, and
yeah,
it felt like you don't like music, like you're not about this the same way I am,
yeah.
and, it's just a different thing, people like
Oh yeah, yeah,
it live is just is totally, so I'm not as passionate about it. And I was very bitter about it for a long time. But uh, basically, I went to a show in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, at um, the uh, Palace Theater, and it was Walter Mitty and his makeshift orchestra. Walter Mitty, I've never heard the band, but I know who Walter Mitty is. So I
yeah.
thought, okay, maybe this will be cool. The 2 openers were actually better than Walter Mitty, but
That
I so
happens.
yes, it does, and they were like it was I had a similar experience when I went to see Les Claypool, which a friend dragged me into that. Um, there was like this funk band, and they all came on like wearing women's clothes, and
Hold on.
Um,
Hold on
yes.
just one sec. Okay. How am I going to fix this? Mm. Um, hmm. I'm in a situation that I have to rectify really quick. I'm sorry,
Okay, take
everybody.
your time.
I didn't think about this before.
Oh.
Well, actually, how about you sing a song while we do this?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. That way everybody doesn't have to wait.
Song. Yay. B. B is the first song on the new album, and it is the single that's out. Okay, so it's a new day. It's a new day, and the sun shines on a clear sky, and the clouds go through my mind. I'm thinking of you, and I process everything. I go to undress all my thoughts from yesterday. I tried to tell you everything. I tried to tell you why you make me feel so strange. I've got to know where we stand now. I try to understand why nothing goes my way. I need to know. So it's over, or I guess so. If it's over, then why are you still here? I'll never understand at all. Try to express all my feelings, but I'm feeling everything at once. Why nothing ever goes my way? I try to understand why nothing goes my way. Am I too blind to see the heart? I try to see it now. Everything seems so strange. I must show me, show me. Pretend to close my eyes, but I'm before surprised. The world is watching, watching. And when I think of you, clearly I often do. Your memories pass, passing through. Yay! There's a song. That's B. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
So I have a really old house and I'm
Yes.
upstairs and my house is from 1904, I think.
Oh, okay.
And so the window, I haven't fixed stuff yet, and so the window has this like, it's so old that the window has like come off of uh the wooden frame it's in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like got this big of a like gap, and I had right just now I had like 4 bees trying to get in.
Oh, the
So I was
B
like,
army.
no.
Oh, look at, and I played B.
Yeah, I know. That was the irony of the whole thing. I was like, that's fitting. Good job. So yeah, so that was the crisis. I'm sorry, everybody. No, we're okay now. But okay, so why don't you explain that song a little bit and like go
So yeah,
into
that goes.
um go
Sorry.
into it a little bit.
Yeah, it goes with what I was saying about live bands. I saw uh the first band I saw that really like blew me away was like this like newer funk band that's Neil Francis. He does like funk that's like 70s inspired
Yeah.
and like pop funk and it was I really enjoyed it when I saw him and uh the whole aesthetic of it. But then like a year later, not that long ago, I saw Walter Mitty and the opener groups were Wavy McGrady and Queen Moo. And the Wavy McGrady really blew me away because they were like um it was like they were playing like the drummer was playing disco and like the singer was like folk singer trying to sing country and
Oh,
then
okay.
um I think like they sounded like they were like an indie band, so it was just all
Yeah.
those things came together and it was like what's going on here.
Yeah.
um and the second band that came on, the singer looked like for some reason reminded me of Buddy Holly. And um they were a three-piece, but they were like a kind of heavy rock band and they sounded like a five-piece. It was really strange.
Yeah.
So and then Walter Mitty came on, I was really underwhelmed. But anyways, um uh like um so I went from this show and I was like, oh, like, I was trying to get a I was trying to get a live band together for my music for a while at
Mhm.
that point. And a problem one of the problems was we didn't have a lot of my songs that were sort of, hype songs. So when I
Mm.
saw these live groups, all their songs were like upbeat and like, getting people all hype. So that's where I did B, and I tried to make this album more geared towards like I can do live music, with these songs.
Mhm.
And like so a lot of them I tried to make them more energetic, and at least somewhat approachable live because that's another problem we're having. Um, a lot of my songs have like, 80 plus tracks and
Yeah.
you can't, yeah, with a four piece like recreate that. So um, I tried to make the songs more guitar based and upbeat. Um, and yeah, so that's how B came about really.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm and that's that's kind of the theme it seems is that you definitely are influenced by what you hear.
Hmm.
Like I feel like that's kind of what you're uh which is good because then you're able to be more versatile, honestly. And your music becomes more versatile too,
Hmm.
I would think. Um
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, yes, yes. Do you want to play another one? And then
Sure.
we can go into that too.
I got two you can pick from. Oh, I should probably do a new one. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. You can pick whatever you want to do.
Okay,
It's
so
good.
I'll give you two. Pick one of these. We got Dancing Shoes or I'm Not Here.
Dancing shoes.
All right, there you go. That's a new one. This one comes out, I think, on the 5th.
Okay.
So, all right. Uh, this one actually has 100 tracks, so we're missing out a lot, but it's okay.
Woo.
There's 50 vocal tracks. It was not fun. Anyways,
Holy cow, friend. Jesus.
yes. Um, ba 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 ba. We were talking about the way things went. It seemed Tell me it wasn't always a show. I refuse to give, I refuse to choose. Put on your dancing shoes. We talked about the fun we had last summer. Oh, what a bummer. It had to die. We talked about what life looked like in the future. The future without her and her bright blue eyes. We talked about the love we had for one another, the love we shared for each other, the simple things in life. You never said what I want to know. Tell me it wasn't always a show. I refuse to give, I refuse to choose. Put on your dancing shoes. 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 Yay. Song.
Yay! All right. So tell us about that one.
Dancing Shoes is a song. I
Is that what that is? I'm
yes.
sorry.
I think I had this intro section which I sung with my voice, but it was all guitars. And this is when on the album I started recording guitar. When I used to record guitar, I started DI, but then I later started recording mic to amp, and then I switched back. But at this point, when I started on Dancing Shoes, I switched back to mic to amp, and so this was the first thing I recorded mic to amp in a while. The intro, and it was like the little da 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 da.
Yeah.
So there are like 3 or 4 guitars, and then I think I had that for like a few weeks, just the intro a little bit. I thought I was just gonna go away, and then I recorded this intro section, which was like an entirely like separate song, everything separately mixed from the rest of the song, and it kind of gradually came, like those lyrics kind of came naturally, and then from the Dancing Shoes bit, I started with that riff, and then I added another one on top on the record, and I think it's like, so they're on top of each other throughout like the whole song, other than the bridge.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, a lot of I did a similar thing on Never Planned, on DIY, or on a Mildly Entertaining Fiesta, my 6th album, where like I put guitar chords on top of each other, and it comes together in really weird ways and like harmonies. But I did that, and then the bass. So I had that loop of the riffs on guitar, and then I started working on chords to go over that, and it was like the little, so it's an F sharp, so that's like an R&B thing. I've used that a ton before. So that's like if you're an F sharp, that's F sharp major, G sharp minor 7, and then a B major. And there's also all these weird chords in there, like there's a a B/C sharp. And I like those a lot. Those are kind of 70s. And then there's when you go from the major to the minor on the third chord, it goes from a major to a minor 6.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. And then there's also when you go for the right before the break, the da, 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 there's like, I don't know, like 30 vocals or something, and they're doing all these harmonies. And so I do the 7, but I also have I think the 2 in that. So it's the it's really hard to play on guitar.
Yeah.
Like something like this. So you're going like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
really weird, but it sounds really cool on the record. And so I kind of just slowly built the song, and then I added the like I said, the bass comes in sort of with the rhythm guitar,
Mhm.
and that goes something like that. So it's just
Yeah.
another riff on top of this thing, technically, and I think it stays on the F sharp while the chords. So that riff, stays under all these chords,
Yeah.
and it kind of creates this like harmony thing.
Which is
And
really cool.
yes,
Like
and it also,
that's such an awesome idea.
yeah. Well, I'm really into. It's really interesting, with chords that are you put a different note in the bass, like the B with the C sharp, in the bass,
Yeah.
and um, you know, uh, guitar chord harmonies are really weird. Um, earthquake.
I don't that was my dog.
Um, and yeah, and then I did like 50 vocals for the dancing shoes thing, and so that's like its own thing. And then there's all these other backing vocals and stuff, but um, you'll hear it when it comes out. It's like too much. It's honestly too much. Yeah, it makes it hell to mix when you do stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think there's like 101 tracks or something, and
Gosh. Yeah.
yes. So and then I recorded 2 different drum sets for the intro and for uh the rest of the song. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. There's very little keys, which is, different for me. Um and I've been doing a lot more just straight up guitar stuff and trying to go more indie rock.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff, on this is on this whole album, uh it kind of came away from the whole live thing because I just love vocal harmonies and vocal doing doubles and quadruples and stuff like that. So, a lot of these songs I have like there's one song on there called Falling, which starts with one lead vocal after the intro. That has like a 50 vocals, but then the one lead vocal, and it slowly builds up to 8 throughout the song. So by the end of the
Jeez.
song, you have 8 lead vocals, and then you have 8 over here doing something else, and then 8 over here doing something else.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it just comes together. It's really interesting. I'm really big influence for a long time was ELO. So like Out of the Blue,
Never heard
and
them.
oh dude, you'll recognize them when you get to some of their hits. But they have like Don't Bring Me Down, Evil Woman, Mr. Blue Sky is a pretty big one. But they're like a prog rock band from the 70s, and they had a lot of
The
harmonies.
the song "Don't Bring Me Down."
Yes.
Ooh, that song?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so I know who they are. I never knew who that was by, but yeah, I know
Yeah.
the song.
That
Yeah.
seems to be the consensus with them. A lot of people don't really know them by name. But
Yeah.
so they were a huge, huge, huge influence.
Oh
So
yeah.
um yeah.
That makes much more sense now. Like I can see that in your I can hear that in your music. That makes so much more sense now. Yeah, that's actually cool. Like I'm impressed that you have so many tracks on each one. Like Jesus. I can't say I've ever written a song that has that many.
I
Like
don't know.
for real.
It just happens. Like I said, I get sucked in,
Yeah.
and then it's 8 hours later, and I feel like I worked a 12-hour shift.
Yeah, I
It
bet. Yeah.
it's really, surprising. I never realized how much it drained, like, literally sucked the soul out of me. Like, I
Yeah.
I come away from recording sessions, like, just dead. Like, it's my brain is rotted,
Yeah.
and it's very, very, very emotionally taxing. I never realized until my dad said something. He was like, I think a lot of musicians are depressed because they're, just they're um, overworking, their emotions
Yeah.
and all that. You're
Yeah.
working so hard on something, and it's really like so much work, like just
Exhausting.
so
Yeah.
exhausting. And I love it.
Yeah.
Like it's a great. It feels like you got a lot of stuff done, but um, it's real because people just don't understand that. How crazy and energy taxing it is.
Yeah. How much effort it puts into how much effort it takes to put into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think it
Yeah.
it does, but it
Yeah.
just does, I guess.
Well, I mean, at that point, especially if you're the only person doing it all, right?
Yeah,
Like some people have a whole team, some people,
true.
like you said, like back in the day, it was a whole team for each thing.
Yeah,
Whereas you're the only person doing 100 things. And so, of course, I mean, if you weren't taxed by that, I would be a little
true.
worried about you.
That'd be great though.
But I mean, in the end, that's really amazing and just a testament to like how committed you are to each song and how much effort you do put into each song to make it, the best it can be as to where you feel it's perfect. And so that's really good. That's really awesome. Where do you see yourself kind of in the future doing music?
I wanna produce more. I'm building myself a studio,
Hmm.
so,
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have, like, an engineering room and, like, a recording room and a vocal booth and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not too big into I like Motown, so their rooms are all untreated and stuff, but I'm gonna try and make it so it's at least somewhat acceptable for other people.
Yeah.
Um, and, I wanna produce more, and record more with other people and co-write. Um, so,
Writing is fun.
yes. I've done very little, but the stuff I have done, um, I
I almost
really
prefer that better than the
it's a lot less,
individual.
less, it feels like there's a lot less at stake, it's kinda
Yeah.
more for fun. Like, I did stuff with Court Lee, she left a comment that says "woo,"
Yeah.
um, and those are some of my best songs I feel I've worked on. It really brings me out of my shell because I can use a drum machine, whereas on my stuff, I usually wouldn't.
Yeah.
Um, but it's more open, and I feel like I can put more money into it too. Like if I wanted to have a horn
Yeah.
arrangement on something, I don't feel as bad about it because I'm like doing it for a
Yeah.
song rather than doing it for myself.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason I want to do a studio. Well, make money from a studio so I can do bigger arrangements. With
Yeah.
because I played cello on the new album, and it's like it's okay, but it'd be better to have someone else play cello.
Yeah.
Um,
At
and
this point, how many instruments can you play? And what are they?
um, I play guitar, bass, keys. I sing, um, and I play cello vaguely, ukulele, but I don't think it really counts because it's so easy compared to you know bigger
Yeah.
instruments.
Yeah.
And drums. And I had a sitar. I don't play it very much anymore because I can't figure out how to restring it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and there's this thing I have called a cuica. Those are really, really cool. You gotta look that up, man. It's a Brazilian. I'm really into like stuff like congas and bongos and stuff. I wish I
Yeah.
could afford a set of congas, but um, the cuica it's a Brazilian monkey drum, and it's like
Okay.
drum. There's a bamboo stick that is attached to the head, and you take a
Okay.
wet rag and you rub the bamboo stick, and it's supposed to sound like a monkey howling. Um,
Okay.
so I heard it on a record, and I thought it was dogs barking, but I
Yeah.
realized, oh, it's 1966, and there's no, you can't sample dogs,
Yeah.
not in the
Yeah.
way they were doing it. It was rhythmic, so
Yeah.
it sounded like they were rubbing a metal pipe on, like, a rubber pipe or something, and I learned it was a cuica.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's really
definitely gonna have to
interesting.
look that up for sure.
Very worth it. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
Wow. So you like that kind of not unusual sounds like to bring things to life.
Yeah, I mean, I like natural sounds, I think. Part of the reason I got a piano because it sucks, like, it sucks to record. Um, it's not, uh, a great piano. There's, like, harmonics and stuff that come off of it, and,
Yes.
you know, some notes are out of tune, but I love recording things with the room, you know?
Mm.
Um, so, you know, instead of using, like, MIDI all the time, and I like synthesizers. I had a synth phase, but I like putting them through natural room reverb sounds. Um, I just like, and that's part of the reason, you know, building a studio. I'm not trying to really treat it like a recording studio. I just want to fix it so it's warmer down here. But
Yeah.
um, it's you know, I want I like Motown's thing because it's so sort of barbaric compared to how recording processes and studios are now. So I'm trying to do something similar, but
Mhm.
you know, also that people would pay to, you know, record in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What so is there enough like musicians in the kind of the vicinity to warrant you making a studio and making some money off of it?
no, but I'm gonna do it
Okay.
anyways. You know, my dad's like helping me finance this.
Yeah.
He believes in me enough, so I'm
It's
at least gonna have to make
amazing.
some
Good
money
for
back.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
My
I mean, you're gonna have to get rich and pay him back. You know, that's how it goes.
yes, yeah,
That's what
but
he's hoping for.
um, you know, it'll be nicer. Uh, and it's like I said, it's been nice building this to taking a break.
Yeah.
Um, and it'll be warmer. There's bands out, you know, around the area. It's just kind of in other towns, you know.
Well, of
So
course. Yeah.
I got some interest, and hopefully I can make some back. But I just want to make good records, really. That's like the
Yeah.
huge thing to me. And obviously, the more production work I can get and fill out my portfolio would be amazing. So,
Yeah, for sure. Well, once you get it all done, definitely, get some marketing out there for it. That's the best
mhm.
thing you can do. Tell your friends to tell their friends and, all that kind of stuff. Like, I think that would be cool if you can be somebody in the vicinity that has a studio that's pretty powerful for people
Oh
who
yeah,
you'll find people coming. I mean, there's 12,000 people. I'm sure you'll
oh
find
yeah. Hopefully,
10% of that.
yeah,
So, I believe that it'll have people come out of the woodwork and be like, I am a musician. That's what I need, or whatever.
yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
Cheese Board Studios.
yeah, and and then that way you can build your own community in that area too. You'll have a music community and not just you feeling alone in that area doing it,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
um yeah, I mean I live in a small town right now. I'm not from one, but I live in one. And we have no more than between the three small towns, we don't have more than 800 people. And my town alone is only like 120.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
like the music here, you have to go to like a big city like Spokane. I live in Washington, so you'd be like Spokane or Coeur d'Alene or something.
Oh, wow.
So like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So like I feel like I understand it in that way where like there's just if you do something big like that, like a studio, it's hard because then you have to like really think of how am I going to get all these other people that are from bigger cities in the area coming to here.
Yeah,
And so but I think if you market it right, I would assume it would be awesome. Like that's really
yeah.
cool. And to do it for yourself, like I know several musicians that have done that for themselves and sometimes they'll because it's easier, it's less expensive, right? Like the initial uh cost of making it and getting all the equipment and stuff kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
getting to the point where you're actually able to produce music on your own and make it be that extra step and
Mhm.
extra process is phenomenal. I think that's really awesome that you did that for yourself. I think it makes you a better artist for that matter, because then you're
Yeah,
really doing it on your own,
I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been moving around spaces for the last like 2 years, and
Yeah, I bet.
tired
Yeah.
of having like not a space that's like built to how I want it.
Yeah.
I got this basement that floods, so I figured I'll fix it. And
You're gonna put equipment in a basement that floods. I
yes,
love-
um,
You better think of something cool to lift that stuff up off of the floor then. Oh my
well,
god.
it's like a PVC pipe. It's like a gutter problem. Our gutters like situated. My house was built in '53 by an ice cream
Okay.
maker. Um,
Okay.
Rondo's Dairy Bar down the street.
Yeah.
Grandpa Rondo built my house, and he didn't do a good job. He did not build it right or to code.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I feel
so
that.
yeah, I'm sure it's worse for you. I mean, that's like 50 years before mine, and um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Good luck. I hope you guys figure that part out because
thank
you're
you.
gonna go through all the money and all the work of building it. I hope you figure it out because that would really suck.
Yeah, that would not be cool. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I
Free
hope
drinking
so.
water.
Yes. Well, I will. You can hot tub while you're in there, right?
Exactly.
Uh, it's a 2-for-1 deal. What can I say? You can market it that way.
Sure.
Anyway. Well, I'm so very happy to have you on. It was so much fun, and you seem so just down to earth, and I appreciate that. So you're welcome to come on anytime. Like if you
Okay.
want to, just let me know and be like, hey, I have a new song or whatever. Just please come on and we'd love to
Okay.
hear it. So why don't you give everybody your socials so they know where to find you?
Yes. Instagram is Wispy Cauliflower, Wispy_cauliflower. I pretty much only use that, and YouTube is Wispy Cauliflower. I'm not very active on social media because I'm lazy. But yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. Well, everybody, that has been Wispy Cauliflower. Please go ahead and follow him and support him. And I can't wait to see when your studio is done. Like, I want to be sure to send like a picture or something. I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area where he's in, guys, like reach out to him if you've got songs or whatever, and he can help you out in the future. So you got a guy that'll have a studio, and that's pretty powerful.
Yes.
So, they aren't cheap. I know that much.
Oh yeah.
But we are so happy to have you on. Welcome to the LMS community, and everybody just give him some love and follow him and listen to his new album that is coming out. When does your new album come out?
June 28th.
June
So a
28th.
little
We got
bit.
him almost 2 months. Hey,
Yes.
hey,
Well,
hey.
on the 13th of June, I turned 20, but more importantly, we have a show at the Palmer Historical Center down the street from my dad's ice cream house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be like the album release. It'll be a physical release. I think we did vinyl and CDs,
Yeah.
so that'll be cool. That's another thing. I think. I don't know why I mentioned that. Oh, June 28th. That's another important thing.
CD or album release is pretty important for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you having it? Do you know?
The
Yeah.
historical center. It's down the street
Oh,
from
that's the
where I live.
place. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
It's
Okay.
like really late. It's like 8:30 to 11:30, and I get back
Yeah.
from Vermont the day right before. So, yeah, I'm playing for 2 hours and probably
Yeah.
2.5 hours. Um, so yeah. Anyways,
Awesome. Well, everybody, be sure to check him out so you can go see him live. Let's support him and give him some LMS love. And yeah, I guess that's the end of the show, guys. So be sure to follow him and also be sure to check out the other artists that we have coming up. Set those notifications and you're subscribing, not subscripting, subscribing so that you know when new artists come out, just like Wispy Califlower. We will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.